DeLorean in the museum isn't the real deal. The actual hero cars from your favorite movies, the ones that made chase scenes legendary, stole the show, and defined car culture, disappeared decades ago, and some are still missing. From barns in Kentucky to junkyards in California, these iconic vehicles survived against all odds, often by sheer luck. Today, we're counting down 10 famous movie cars that vanished after filming, revealing the incredible stories of how collectors found them, restored them, and brought them back to life. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story about the rarest, most legendary cars in film history. And comment below which lost movie car you'd love to see in person. Number 10. The original Bullitt Mustang, 1968 Ford Mustang GT390. Warner Brothers built two identical Highland Green Mustang GT390s for the legendary chase scenes in Bullitt, 1968. After filming wrapped, both cars seemingly vanished. One was scrapped for parts, cut into pieces, and lost forever. The other disappeared completely for nearly 50 years. The hero car, the one Steve McQueen actually drove, was purchased by a family in Kentucky in 1974 and tucked away in a barn. The owner fully understood its value, but refused all offers from collectors and museums. The reason? His wife loved driving it like a normal car, taking it to the grocery store and on casual drives. It wasn't until the 2018 Detroit Auto Show that the car was revealed to the public. Collectors were stunned. The car had survived completely unrestored, with dents, scrapes, and all the battle scars from the iconic chase scene. When it sold at Mecum Auctions in 2020 for $3.74 million, it became the most valuable Ford Mustang ever sold. The story of the Bullitt Mustang perfectly illustrates where movie cars go after Hollywood is done with them, often into the hands of everyday people who simply wanted a great driving experience. Number 9. Herbie the Love Bug, 1963 Volkswagen Beetle. Disney built 26 Volkswagen Beetles for the 1968 Herbie movie. Most of these cars were sold off as ordinary used cars, while others were crushed or destroyed. The primary hero car, the one used for most of the close-up scenes, disappeared for more than 30 years. Its rediscovery came thanks to a Disney historian, who tracked it down in a California warehouse buried under boxes and decades of film equipment. The car's condition was rough, faded paint, missing parts, decades of neglect, but its VIN number matched Disney production records precisely. A collector purchased it at auction in 2015 for $86,250, then spent $50,000 restoring it to screen-accurate condition. Today, it lives in a private collection and occasionally appears at Disney events, where fans, including adults who grew up with the film, are moved to tears seeing the real Herbie in person. The challenge with Herbie cars is the sheer number of fakes circulating. Every white Beetle with racing stripes at car shows gets claimed as a hero car. Disney's poor record-keeping made authenticating these vehicles a detective-level effort, showing that Hollywood discarded far more movie history than it preserved. Number 8. The General Lee Jump Car, 1969 Dodge Charger. For the Dukes of Hazzard T5 series, Warner Brothers destroyed between 250 and 320 Dodge Chargers. Documentation on which cars performed specific stunts was practically non-existent. One of the original jump cars from Season 1 ended up in a Georgia junkyard, rusting away for 25 years. It was eventually recognized by a dedicated fan due to specific body damage visible in episodes. Though severely damaged, only the vintage body panels and some frame rails were salvageable. The car was meticulously rebuilt using period-correct parts and original blueprints. Restoration cost exceeded $150,000, but the car's documentation proved it had performed the iconic barn jump that fans consider the most important stunt in the series. Today, it resides at the Volo Auto Museum in Illinois, a centerpiece for collectors who finally get to see a genuine screen-used General Lee. Many pristine 1969 Chargers were sacrificed for TV stunts, but surviving authentic jump cars now command six-figure prices due to their rarity. Number 7. The Blues Mobile, 1974 Dodge Monaco. The Blues Brothers, 1980, used 13 police spec Dodge Monacos. After filming, most were auctioned or scrapped. The primary hero car, the one driven by Jake and Elwood, vanished for almost 30 years. It resurfaced in a California police impound auction, still painted in its signature black and white, though missing the roof-mounted speaker. Interestingly, the car had served as a real police cruiser in Illinois post-filming, accumulating over 200,000 miles. Authentication relied on a unique VIN number recorded in Universal Studios production files and matching camera angles from chase scenes. Restoration took 3 years, including sourcing period-accurate Motorola radios and even the correct brand of cigarette lighter. Today, the Bluesmobile appears at car shows and blues festivals, letting fans relive its downtown Chicago chase scenes. Universal Studios' poor record-keeping meant nobody even knew it survived until production archives were reviewed decades later. If this car hadn't ended up in that auction, it likely would have been crushed. Number 6. Mad Max Interceptor, 1973 Ford Falcon X BGT. The Black Pursuit Special from Mad Max, 1979, became one of the most iconic cars in cinematic history. After filming, it disappeared for over 20 years, eventually ending up in a California junkyard with its blower and side pipes removed, painted gray, and sitting on blocks with a seized engine. And a fan recognized it by its custom fender flares and unique roll cage, then purchased it for just $5,000 in 2011. Restoration, however, cost more than $250,000. Every custom part, including the supercharger and side exhaust, had to be meticulously recreated. This car's survival was almost accidental. The junkyard owner had no idea of its cultural significance. Today, the Interceptor resides in a climate-controlled garage and is treated as a religious artifact for automotive and cinematic fans alike. Number 5. Eleanor, 1971 Plymouth Barracuda, Gone in 60 Seconds, 1974. The original Gone in 60 Seconds used a 1971 Barracuda for the Eleanor chase scenes. After filming, it disappeared into storage for 15 years. A collector tracked it down in 1989 in Long Beach, hidden under film equipment and missing many custom parts. The Barracuda had been repainted from its custom silver back to standard yellow, and its 446 pack engine was replaced with a standard 383. Authentication came from the VIN and director H.B. Helicki's production notes, plus unique chassis modifications for the jumps. Restoration required locating original fabricators for bumpers, side exhausts, and other custom parts. Today, Eleanor lives in a private collection and rarely appears publicly. Its historical importance is compounded by the fact that most people remember the 2000 remake's Shelby GT 500, not the original Barracuda. Number 4. Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, 1977 Pontiac Firebird. Universal built 4 identical black and gold Trans Ams for the 1977 film. After filming, 3 were destroyed or sold off. The hero car driven by Burt Reynolds disappeared for 35 years. I eventually found in a New Jersey storage facility. It still bore its original paint, but was missing the T-tops and interior. Authentication relied on production notes showing unique engine modifications and chassis reinforcements for stunt work. Restoration cost $90,000, including sourcing the correct Hurst hatch T-tops and CB radio equipment. Today, it's a highlight at automotive events, offering fans a rare chance to sit in the car that defined 70s car culture. Number 3. Ghostbusters Ecto-1, 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor. Columbia Pictures used one Cadillac ambulance chassis for the 1984 Ghostbusters movie. After filming, it was stored at Sony Studios, neglected for 2 decades. Rediscovery came when a tour guide spotted it buried under tarps in a warehouse. By 2010, it was in poor condition: rusted floor pans, seized engine, and damaged rooftop ghost hunting equipment. Sony spent over $200,000 restoring it, recreating all rooftop devices using production photos and special effects blueprints. Now, it tours the country for conventions and events, often receiving fan reactions as if the ghosts themselves had returned. Sony's lack of awareness and massive warehouse scale meant the car could have been lost forever. Number 2. The Batmobile. 1966 Lincoln Futura concept. George Barris transformed a 1955 Lincoln Futura into the 1966 Batmobile. After the series ended, the original hero car disappeared in the 1980s, sitting in Barris's warehouse for nearly 15 years while replicas toured events. Authenticity was verified in the 1990s through chassis modifications and production photos. Barrett-Jackson auctioned the original Batmobile in 2013 for $4.62 million, purchased by a lifelong Batman fan. Even with careful ownership, the car suffered from years of use and improper storage. Today, it resides in a climate-controlled facility and is shown at major automotive events, representing peak practical effects craftsmanship of the 1960s. Number 1. James Bond's Aston Martin DB5, 1964 Goldfinger/Thunderball. 2 DB5s were built for Goldfinger, 1964. After filming, one toured for promotions, the other stayed with Eon Productions for Thunderball, 1965. The touring car was stolen in 1997 from a Florida airport hangar and remains missing, possibly hidden in a private collection. The Eon Hero car spent 40 years in private ownership after being sold in 1969 for just $12,000. In 2010, it sold at RM Sotheby's for $4.6 million, making it the most expensive DB5 ever sold. Remarkably, it still has all functional gadgets, including the smokescreen, oil slick sprayer, and bulletproof shield. Fans treat it as the holy grail of movie cars. The missing stolen DB5 could easily surpass $20 million if it ever resurfaces, highlighting how undervalued movie cars were in the 60s and 70s. From barns and junkyards to private collections and warehouses, these 10 lost movie cars show just how fragile cinematic history can be. The preservation of these vehicles often relied on luck, obsessive collectors, and careful detective work. Every surviving hero car is more than a machine. It's a piece of cultural history. They prove that while Hollywood may discard its automotive legends, some cars manage to survive and inspire generations. So hit subscribe and stay tuned. In the world of classic movie and luxury cars, the next hidden legend could be just around the corner. The best movie cars aren't just on screen, they're the ones that somehow made it home.